Okay, so now we're ready to bake our bread. We've gone through the cold proofing process. It's been 12 to 24 hours in the fridge. You've done the test on that to know it's ready to bake. So one thing you're going to want to have, regardless of how you're baking, is some good parchment paper. You can buy the rolls, you can buy the sheets. I prefer the rolls, they're just a little more cost effective. It's also a little bit thicker. If you are using a Dutch oven, when you cut off your parchment paper, I would like to crinkle mine up so that it's a lot easier to work with because this is pretty stiff. So I would take it off or rip it off, crinkle it up, and then go about your business with that. One thing when you're using a Dutch oven, I usually put my rack, my top rack, on the second from the bottom space in the oven. On the very bottom rack, which is on the lowest setting, then I'm gonna put a pizza stone on that. It helps prevent the bottom of the bread from burning. So that's just a helpful hint on my part. Otherwise, you can move that rack that you're gonna bake on up one. I have found that it doesn't get hot enough on the bottom at that point. So invest in a pizza stone. I got one at Walmart for like 10 or 15 bucks. And that's all I use it for. So food for thought. If you want to do open baking, I personally prefer open baking for a lot of reasons. The primary one is I can watch my bread bake. I know how it's doing. I can make adjustments if I need to. So the things that you're gonna have to have in order to do an open bake, first off, of course, you still need parchment paper. You will need a pizza peel of some sort. I got mine from Amazon. Was not expensive. It's not the biggest one, but it's one that I can handle and it works well. This one also, with this, it folds. You just have to loosen it a little more, but it will fold for easier storage. So mine looks a little worse for the wear because it's had to be, washed. And yes, I put mine in the dishwasher. I took the handle off and put it through the dishwasher. Other things that you're going to have, let me just kind of spin the camera around here so we can see, get a picture on the oven. So what you're going to see inside the oven is a pizza steel or a baking steel. They come in various shapes or various sizes and shapes. You can get them square. You can also purchase covers that go on them so that you don't have to put the steam in the oven with it. I've opted to not have to put a cover on it so I can see the entire process because truly the beginning is probably the most important part for me. What you're gonna have when you start baking, you will have your steel in the oven. You will have a 9x13 pan. I fill mine about an inch or so, about a half, 3/4 of an inch. I put that on the bottom rack right underneath it. I then turn my oven on to preheat to 450 degrees. So once my oven has heated, and my oven takes about 30 minutes to heat up to 450 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my, my bread to put it into the oven. Once my oven preheats, that's my indication that it's now time to get my bread out of the refrigerator and get it ready to put into the oven. So we're gonna turn back around here, hopefully quicker and easier than the last time. So I have my steel. I'm gonna take a piece of parchment paper. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna use a pre-cut piece of parchment paper. This is very thin, so see how much thinner this is than the actual rolls of parchment. So I have my parchment paper down here on my pizza peel. All these rhyming words. Okay, so we're not gonna make fun of my really bad loaf. I've been playing with rye bread for a few months and it just doesn't come out very well, but anyway. So this is where you're going to put your loaf of bread. We're gonna assume that this loaf has not been cooked. We're gonna put that on there. You're gonna do your scoring, however you want to do that. We'll talk about scoring later. So once I have everything prepared, you're also going to want just a little squirting bottle, misting bottle for water. Steam is very important in the sourdough baking process. That's what's going to help give you that really nice crispy crust. This is really cool, so it's not going to be very crispy anymore. But you're going to want that when you put your bread into the oven. So we're going to turn this camera around one more time.